Well, hello, welcome to this Wednesday live. And you know what? If I've got a very strange expression on my face and I look a bit weird, it's because I feel a bit weird. So I got up early, did the stuff that I would usually do on a Wednesday, and I wanted to talk to you today on this Facebook Live about some stuff that I'm going to be sharing for the next week. And here's what I wanted to say. It's authentic stuff, it's real stuff, it's my life stuff, and it could trigger some of you watching. So I kind of wanted to preempt you on that. And in the time of getting ready to prepare this live and this video, which you'll find all over my social media posts, about a very personal experience that I've had, and the reason why I don't think certain topics should be off discussion. Let me just tell you what I want to talk to you about. And I want to caveat this by saying this is not a marketing ploy. This is not me looking for a sympathy vote. This is not me doing vulnerability. This is me authentically talking about an aspect of my life that in a way has nothing to do with my business, but in every way has everything to do with the woman that I am today, the person that I am today. And it's been just in the last hour given an extra special flavour for me to talk about this. So thank you for watching, and please do let people know about this video because it's important. It's a topic that's important to me. So some of you might not know, but you'll probably know of someone who this has maybe affected. Today is the start of Baby Loss Awareness Week. So the hashtag is hashtag B for baby, L for loss, A for awareness, W for week, 2019. You're going to see this all over social media. It's something I feel really strongly about because it doesn't just affect the women who go through this really sad, really raw experience. It also affects the men in their lives. It also affects same-sex couples who try to go through this journey. It also affects the grandparents, the aunts, the friends, and all sorts of things like that. And here's why I'm going to talk about it. Because although it seems like a distant memory, in 2010, I was pregnant with twins. And the twin pregnancy is sometimes a little bit shorter because, you're carrying two of them. And, they'll tell you about all the risks and stuff involved. But unfortunately, my journey to motherhood ended in 2010, just shy of 18 weeks into my twin pregnancy, when I unfortunately miscarried my son and my daughter. Yes, they weren't just blobs of cells, they were a son and a daughter. And it was one of the most devastating experiences of my life. I'm not even going to lie. If somebody had told me that this was coming, I could have said, please don't give it to me. I can't cope. I can't handle it. I can't deal with it. But when you live through something as real and as raw as that, when you live through that kind of thing, it's like it's somehow you find some sort of strength that you didn't know you had, didn't know you needed to be able to navigate and work through what you're going through. And as time goes on, you learn to live with it. People say, oh, well, you get over things. I don't believe you can ever get over the loss of a baby. But here's why I want this post not to be about me and my story. I want it to be about opening up the discussions. You could be sitting next to somebody at work who has gone through this once, twice, or multiple times. And when I talk about baby loss awareness, I want to recognise any of you who have ever had an early miscarriage, even if you only knew you were pregnant for days, it doesn't matter. I want women and men and people to stop grading the loss as better or worse. Well, at least it was this or at least it was that. I want to acknowledge any of you that have ever been touched by baby loss, whether it's a miscarriage that's happened a few days in, a few weeks in. If you felt the loss and your family have felt the loss, you felt the loss. I also want to acknowledge people in the kind of the grey area, like me in the middle, who I actually delivered my babies. I didn't even know I was in labour. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother time. So those people that were kind of in the middle of it, my babies were too young to be deemed as worth saving, and also too young to have a birth certificate, which was really tough, but old enough to have a funeral, which we did. And then there are the women that get very close to preparing to, and the families, sorry, not just the women, but the families who get very close to preparing for their baby's arrival. I personally know of women who have had a week to go, a couple of weeks to go, or due date waiting for the arrival of their baby, only to be given the absolutely devastating news that their baby's not, you know, the heart's not beating or something like that. So I really want to encourage you to be so brave, whether you've been affected by this or not, whether you know someone that's been affected by this or not. I want to encourage you to be brave. And on this Baby Loss Awareness Week, look up SANDS, who is a completely terrific organisation, gave me a lot of support both in the hospital, during the birth, and afterwards as well. Please just like have a look for the hashtag BLAW 2019. Share something. If the story isn't your story, please don't be afraid to say being made aware of this and sharing this for people whose lives this has touched or affected. Please don't feel guilty if you've got children and you're speaking to someone that has gone through this and don't have children. I mean, my story wasn't a happy ending. Oh, look at, you know, my kids now. I now don't have kids, you know, and I love children. I love babies. I love pregnancy. And, you know, if I'm honest, if I was the last person to have ever gone through that particular experience, I'd take it. You know, I wouldn't wish this on anybody, this journey, but I really want to encourage you to acknowledge the people of whom it affected, the grandparents, the aunts, the friends. My best friend was so supportive. Just, it makes me want to cry thinking about it. So if you can be that person, if you don't know anything about this, have got no experience of it, just take a few days this week just to dip in to hear some of the stories that people will be sharing across social media, and offer the support in the way you can. And the final thing that I would say, in my experience, and this is not necessarily right, it's subjective, if you come across this today, tomorrow, next week, next month, in the future, and you don't know what to say, then say that. Say, oh, I'm lost for words, I don't know what to say. Sometimes people offer words of support like, oh, well, you can try again. And for the grieving mother, that's not great. I've had people say, you know, God has given you this because he knows you can handle it. And I wanted to punch their head off their neck, to be honest with you. And those of you that know me know that's not my normal trait. So if you don't know what to say, just say that. I don't know what to say. Oh my gosh, that must be devastating. And support whoever you can, because there are people that feel like they can't talk about this. Can you imagine going through something in your life that's devastating, and when people ask you how you are, you stick on a smiley face and go, I'm fine, thanks, when inside you're really not. So let them speak, let them talk. And if you can't help them, but you know someone that's a good listener, a great listener, you know, get them involved, and let them know about people like SANDS. So it's sands.org.uk, I think, but if you search for SANDS, S for Sierra, A for Alpha, N for November, D for Delta, S for Sierra, you will find their website and you'll find out more about what I'm talking about. So the other reason why I'm quite emotional today is, for years and years, and especially since living in London, I've watched the London Marathon. Sometimes it goes like really close to my door. And last year I felt compelled that I would like to enter the London Marathon, and run a marathon before I'm 50, which is like coming up for 2.5 years' time. I know, black doesn't crack. But anyway, I entered the London Marathon, and my sister, who runs half marathons and is a runner, found out that she hadn't been, hadn't got into the London Marathon. And me, who can literally not even run a mile without getting out of breath and stopping. And this is the reason why I wanted to enter the London Marathon. It's something that I physically cannot do right now, but I want to be able to do. So I've entered, and at 10:30 this morning, I got an email to say, I've been accepted! And without blasting out your ears, I'm going to be running the London Marathon in 2020. And if I can do it for SANS, I will absolutely be doing it for SANS. But if not, there are some other charities that I know have already reached out and said you can run for us, such as the Alzheimer's Society, which again is close to my heart because of a close family member who has now passed but went through the journey with Alzheimer's for many years. There's Crisis for Homelessness. There's lots of people I can run for, but at the moment, if I'm honest, I'm a bit in shock. But I also think it's the gift from the twins. And I know that sounds a bit way out there and a bit strange and a bit, but it's like, I can do this. So I'll need a lot of support over the next few months in running the freaking marathon. So that's all I've got to say for now. Thank you so much for watching. Please spread the news about the Baby Loss Awareness Week. It's so important. Thank you for watching. And by the way, although I'm tearful, I'm emotional, I'm fine, I'm not upset. I'm just really emotional today. So thank you so much and bye for now.